Hey guys, so I'm officially done my first bikini competition. I can say that with a big sigh of relief. But I did want to kind of go over how I felt during the day leading up to, and just kind of a quick overview, and if I am or am not going to compete again. So here we go. So the week leading up to the competition, if you don't know, is called peak week, and it's basically your like final week before your show, and it's really where you're like super zoned in. Usually you're very fine out about every single thing that you eat or drink, and for me and a lot of people, it's leaning down to your, show the muscles that you've been building for the last however many weeks. So for me, it was pretty intense. I wasn't super hungry, and I'm going to actually do a whole other video on peak week, so stay tuned for that, but I just want to make sure it's very detailed for you guys. But it was very more intense. I liked a lot of parts of it. I loved the whole process of getting ready for the bikini competition. It was a really cool experience, and the mindset that I had from the beginning, I had to keep reminding myself often of what my goals were, because overall it is more of a mindset in order to be healthy in general, but to definitely get to this point of this very particular athletic body, you really have to be have structure, mindset, scheduling. There's a lot of components besides just eating correctly and exercising correctly. So I loved the process leading up to it. The last week was pretty very specific, very intense, and I got sick. So I contacted my coach 2 days out, and for those of you who don't know, I didn't use a coach until the last week, and I used it in the last week because I didn't want to get myself sick the last week, because it's so intense, and I was looking up all these things on the internet, and you really need to have something body specific. And I would say I actually would recommend using a coach after just going through this process and not using a coach. I would recommend a coach. It was super helpful. Each body's very different and specific. You don't have to, but I would recommend it. I liked having that extra accountability. But yeah, so I got sick. And when I say I got sick, I got like a 101, 102 temp. I was cold, I was hot, my throat hurt. So I was able to control that. Actually, I was lucky enough to able to control that with just Tylenol and ibuprofen and Advil. I never like actually got sick like any more than that, without going into detail. But yeah, it wasn't fun. I couldn't sleep well. I was really tired and achy. That like being hot, cold, and achy, that was no fun. But I will say that Friday I figured out I could control it with making sure I took Tylenol and Advil or ibuprofen like regularly. So when Saturday morning came, which was show day, after I had my first meal or food, I started on my Tylenol right away, and I felt better like an hour or two later. So thank goodness for that, or else I don't know if I would have been able to compete, because that was pretty intense. So yeah, leading up to the show, it was a really good experience. I'm really glad that I did it. The whole thing was just really cool, and I can't wait to like actually stop and reflect and be able to apply what I learned, because the whole thing was just really cool. If anyone has any goals or aspirations or like something they want to do on their bucket list, I highly encourage you to do it. And why wait? Because the whole process to get there is just, that's the coolest part, and you never know until you do it. So I highly suggest completing your bucket list and just start working on it now. So actual show day. Show day leading up, I took off a couple days beforehand. It's intense. There's a lot of stuff to do. So I did a drug-free show. So I did have to take a drug test, and my show was about 45 minutes to an hour away. So I did travel for the drug test down there, came back. Then I traveled down for my tan. I was gonna do my tan up here, but they couldn't. I did a couple trial runs. They couldn't get me dark enough. So I did get my tan down there. So I needed to go down Friday, the day before, get my tan. honestly, the tan was so annoying for me. You can still see it. I still have it on me a little bit. This was like the 2 coats before, then they do a final coat on you, which is like super dark, like a cherry brown almost. The tanning was so annoying. I'm sorry, but to stand there, get sprayed, stand there and dry, get sprayed again, stand there and dry, make sure it doesn't drip. Oh my goodness, like, I don't know, so annoying to me. And then show day, I was excited, but I think honestly I was 50% more excited just because I didn't feel sick. Like, I felt good and I was so happy I felt good. So show day was fun. It was a long flippin' day, guys. Like, I was up at like 5, but partially because I was just not feeling good. But had all my meals, had prepped everything the night before, everything packed. And then we got to the venue for like 8:30, 8:45, and then we went in, started on hair and makeup. Actually, just started on hair. And then we had like our athletes meeting where they just kind of go over everything with just the athletes. Then we got ready again, or more. And then we were able to go in and watch some of the show, which was nice. The show started around noontime. They did run a little bit late, but around noontime. Then we went and finished. I got my tan and then finished up. No, I finished my makeup, then I got my tan. And I did my own makeup and I did my own hair. I just wore it curly. Here's a picture of what I looked like. And then we went on stage, and I thought I'd be a lot more scared than I was, but I think I was just like ready. I don't know, there was 19 in our class, and that's a really big class. And I was doing it with a friend, ended up doing it with me, but we didn't know we were both doing it until we had already signed up. So that was cool to be able to have someone with me. And we went and we did it, like, we were right next to each other, which was cool too, because we could kind of like say something to each other if we needed to. It was a lot of posing, holding poses for a long time. And what I noticed looking back, I will show you a video clip of like us doing our posing and stuff, but I'm not as, like, a lot of it is presentation. Like, a lot of this is like posing and presenting yourself and the transition of how you get there. And I think I did well posing, probably not like perfect posing as my first show, and like I did a posing class, but like my transition to get there and then stay there, like, you kind of had to be moving a little bit, or like, I don't know, I just noticed that I got to my pose and I'd stay there, got to my pose and stayed there. So I don't think I was as fluid with my movements. Honestly, when I look at all the bodies, I think I fit in, which was nice. I think I looked good. I'm just very proud of what I accomplished. And yeah, I mean, it was good. The girls that won did great jobs. Sometimes you don't always understand why someone won over you, but they might have presented better. They might have had better angles. They might have had better, like, overall appearance, which that's up to the judges and their kind of like call on what they think. So definitely part of it is a judgment call, which is one of the reasons that it did make me want to do this, because I knew that, like, it is specific judging, but it's also up to the judges to say, like, if they liked an overall appearance, or if they liked someone's hair and makeup and suit and tan, like, that's the overall appearance, that's really their judgment. So it made me feel like not take it personal. Maybe I think I looked good overall, but, or someone else might have even given me a 10, but another judge would have given me like a 5, who knows. So that's one of the reasons I did it, is because it's, I don't know what the right word is, but besides judgment, but it's up to each person's particular likes and dislikes, I guess.
And Corey, turn to the right. Okay.
So will I compete again is the big question. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna compete again for a while. I really enjoyed the process. Like I said before, I flippin' loved getting my body to that point. Like even peak week, like, was so cool to see that transformation in only like 6 or 7 days. It was crazy. I think I ended up losing, I didn't weigh myself, but I did weigh myself up until Saturday, but I forgot to weigh myself Saturday morning. I lost 6 pounds that last week, and man, the leanness, and I will show you the progression here from week 1 to week 13 is awesome. Like, I'm so proud of myself for that alone. I'm proud that I just did it. I can say I did a bikini competition. But I really didn't enjoy show day as much as I thought I would. Like, show day was just such a long flippin' day. Like, the show alone was like 9 hours. Like, they started at noontime and we didn't get done till 9 and out the door by 9:30. Like, that's a long show. And we were there like 4 hours before, 3 hours before. And worrying about like your tan getting messed up, having to pee, having to like stick your bikini back on after you peed because you stick it on so you make sure it stays on. Like, I didn't even mind the posing. I actually didn't mind going out there and doing the stuff. It's all the in between, the waiting, the heels. Like, I'm not a heel girl, and you couldn't just put your heels on for the show. Like, you had to be ready any minute, because if you've done any dance, like, you know, when you're called, you have to get in line and you have to be ready. Like, that's just the way it is, and I get that side of it, but oh my goodness, it's like exhausting. You rush to wait, right? Is that what they say? So like, my friend says that she's gonna do another one, and I'm like, I am there for you. I'll even train with you. I'll even like do peak week with you, because I would like make myself a goal of that. I loved getting to there, but I am not competing that day. I will coach you. I will cheer you on. I will do your hair. I will be your biggest fan. I will go away for the weekend with you. I will go and watch. I want to wear my sweatpants that day and walk around in my slippers. Like, sorry, I don't know. It's just me, and that's cool. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. It is very expensive. The sport's very expensive. I probably spent like, I don't know, I would say a good $600 probably, at least like $600, and the $600 is probably in the last like 3 weeks, because I didn't use a coach up until the end. So if you include the programs that I use, which is a whole channel, I use the Beachbody On Demand, that's $100, but that's for the year. Actually with my supplements, it probably was more than $600, because I went through a couple rounds of supplements. So yeah, it's expensive, and like I said, I'd rather do a weekend away. So, but it was cool. Like, awesome to meet some really awesome people, hear people's stories, make new relationships, friends. Like, again, very cool. So the whole experience overall, very awesome, but I don't think I'll be competing anytime soon. It's a huge time commitment, huge money commitment. It's a commitment, and I think it's awesome, those people that do it, the people that do it for the right reasons, you know. I think the whole process is just super cool. So with that being said, this was just an overall view. If you guys want specifics, like, I am going to do a peak week video, but if you guys have any other requests, just post them below. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and then I will show you. Check out my Instagram. I am going to post some stuff that I ate today. It's the day after the show, and let me just tell you, it's been crazy. Excuse me. Yeah, it's been good. Like this video if you kind of just like this sit down talk kind of video. Check out my channel for more lifestyle stuff, and I will do a whole video on the day after my show very soon here. Talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching. Bye.